few years back, I had the opportunity of doing a life map, and this is in one of my classes. And today I'm going to share with you the first half of my life on this life map. We're talking about peaks and valleys. And as you can see here, it might be very short or 1980 to 2016. So when I was born to 2016, I considered the first half of my life. And so when you look at a life map, there are many ways that people create life map and do it or draw it or write it. But I did mine in gaps of 5 years, and between 1980 to 2016. What were all the peaks and the valleys in your life? And for me, there are so many stories that I can share with you, but I'm going to run through my life map just quickly with you. So, born in 1980, brought up in Georgetown, then moved to industry, moved to Barbies, was left alone in Barbies with total stranger who became, I would say, family friends. Then moved back and reunited with my family and attended high school, got a boyfriend, did many things that is not, you know, I would say good in the eyes of many people. Went through, I would say, some of the people also that influenced my life is on this life map. I can remember my grandmother praying for me during my high school age so that I could pass my CXC. I graduated with 8 subjects and attended the university at the age of 16, going through that whole, I would say, teenage and all the emotions through that period, and met some good friends, met some not so good friends, and influenced me. I've been through where I have actually stolen things. I have lied to my parents. I've did so many wrong things in those valleys, and it brought me even to a point that I wanted to take my life. And when that didn't work, I ran away from home, and that was one of the lowest point, I would say, during those period. And anyway, during that period also came out my high point where I got to meet the Lord and I give him my life, and total transformation in my life from there on. And yes, the valleys did not stop. There were peaks and valleys that continued. Some people who came into my life and shared and mentored and encouraged me and came through that part. And my parents got separated, and that was the next valley. And one of my best friend, the person who I got so connected with that I could share anything with and so close, end up migrating, and that became a next value for me, that I felt that there's no one actually that I can talk to, and so there's no friends. And then starting back and started working, started learning piano, reading more of spiritual books from Joel Osteen and Joyce Meyer, building my faith. Then got married, got my kids. So first, second, third daughter came along, and life went on like that. My mom got diagnosed with breast cancer during 2010. And so that was a next peak, next valley that came out, and it was one thing after the other. And then my mom migrated, joined the Gideons. I started learning to play violin. I went to a few countries and visiting. Those were my peak. I love traveling. I love exploring other cultures and just immersing myself in, learning other things. And then came along to a next valley where my pastor passed away, and he was like one of the closest person that I had, because my dad wasn't in Guyana, and he was our spiritual father too. So that was a hard blow. And then my grandmother died. I started my masters. I got a coach. I went to visit Joyce Myers and Joyce Meyer in her conference, and there's so many other things that came along up and down, and that is some stories that I can spend, I would say, weeks telling you about my life and how those peaks and those valleys actually molded me into who I am today. And maybe in the next video, I will share the start of the other half of my life. But I want to encourage you and ask you this question, is that sometimes the valleys that you're going through right now might not be, it's never going to be something that you're going to be comfortable with or you might like, or it's fun. It will never be fun. Sometimes it's hard, depends on how you also see it. But I can tell you one thing, if you do not label those experience and the things that are happening to you right now, you would not feel it as much as you're feeling it right now. So what are those peaks in your life? What are those valleys that mold you into who you are today? There was a song that I heard, I think the name is Laura's Story. And she said, what if? What if those were the things that was needed in your life? I would put it this way, that were needed for mold you into who you are today. What if those were the experiences? What if those were the things that God had planned in your life that it will take to make you into who you are today? And you wanting to run away from it, you want to avoid it. What if those are the things that will make you stronger? And so, how can you challenge yourself to, embrace those hardships? How can you challenge yourself today to embrace not only the peaks in your life and enjoying those peaks, but the valleys too that is molding you into who you will be able to be and do so that you can achieve those peaks in your life? And so I would also ask you, what if that is what it takes? What if coming in the next couple years, whatever it is that is coming, I don't know, you don't know, but what if that is what it will take to make you and make you successful, make you become a person of influence, or whatever it will take to who you want to become? What if? Right? And so embrace the what if. I will challenge you today to go and maybe you can draw your life map like mine, or you could just make a note on each areas every 5 year gaps. What was the peaks? What were the valleys that you went through? And you can look back at it and see where you've come from, how these things were able to actually mold you into who you are today, and embrace it. Embrace it that this is what it took to make me who I am. And be proud of it. Enjoy who you are, and keep every 5 years, keep adding to the map and look back to see where you're at. You are made to do amazing things, and I believe that yes, some of those things are hard. Some of those decisions that you're going to make today are really hard, and you might want to run from it. I want you to ask yourself in that moment, what if? What if this is what I was meant to do? What if this is what I was meant to go through at this point? What if? And embrace it. Go fearlessly, go bold into those valleys, and believe you will come out. I do believe that joy comes in the morning. So when you go through certain things, there's joy coming on the next day. Be strong and share this video, like it, and especially with those who might need to know that there are people who went through a lot in life and they have come out of the valley. And yes, they do go back in some valleys and they come out back and they go in. That's life, right? Embrace it, and you can help someone to be stronger. I can share with you, as I said, each one of those peaks and valleys stories, and it's how God also helped me through each and every one of them. The mental resilience that was needed, and how were you able to come through it, is going to be your story to the world too. Be encouraged and stay great.